You might be with the wrong therapist, and you may not even know it. A scary thought, I know. Today, I'm sharing 7 signs to let you know a therapist might not be the right fit for you. And I'm not talking about serious violations like ethical breaches. Those are definitely red flags. These are more subtle signs that you're with a bad therapist, or at least someone who's just not right for you. So I'm going to start by sharing my very first experience with therapy. It was horrible. I was 15 years old and I had what my parents called a bad attitude, which basically translates to I was a typical teenager. So they sent me to therapy. I walk into the office and there's the therapist, this guy with a beard who's maybe 30 years old but trying to channel Sigmund Freud. He had a suit, he had a beard, he had this big desk that he sat behind, and he was staring at me and stroking his beard. And then he said, "Your parents tell me you're a very disturbed young lady." I said, "F you." Only I didn't say F. He said, "Oh, you have anger issues." I said, "F you, I'm out of here." And as I was walking to the door, he said, "You're going to have problems with men one day." I said F you again because that's all I could think of, and then I left. I have to tell you, I thought therapy was the stupidest thing ever. I vowed never to go back to therapy. Never say never, and luckily, years later, I had another therapist who changed my life. And now I'm a therapist, a psychoanalyst, so there you have it. Look, there are a lot of bad therapists out there, and a lot of good therapists. And then there are those that just aren't a good fit for you. So let me give you some signs of a bad therapist. So first, pay attention to whether your therapist truly listens to you. Do they seem distracted or disengaged during the sessions? Because a good therapist is fully present and attentive and gives you their undivided focus and attention. If you consistently feel unheard, or you feel like your therapist is just kind of going through the motions, that is a sign that something is off. Second, watch out for therapists who interrupt you all the time or seem impatient when you're speaking. That shows a lack of respect for your experience and your thoughts. A therapist should create a safe, supportive space where you can freely share without feeling rushed or dismissed, where you really feel heard. Third, be wary of therapists who impose their own values, their own beliefs or agenda onto you. Therapy should be a collaborative process where you explore and clarify your own values and goals. And if your therapist is constantly pushing their viewpoint or trying to steer you in a certain direction, that is a red flag. They should respect your autonomy and support you in finding your own path forward. After all, therapy is about your life and your experience, period. Fourth, consider whether your therapist has cultural competence and sensitivity to your specific identity and experience. If they struggle to understand or empathize with your unique cultural background or your own social context, it can limit the effectiveness of your work together. You deserve a therapist who can meet you where you are and who can appreciate the full complexity of your life. Fifth, pay attention to how your therapist responds to feedback or concerns that you raise about the therapy process itself. Do they get defensive? Do they dismiss your perspective? Or are they open to hearing your thoughts, and are they willing to adjust their approach for you? A good therapist actually welcomes constructive feedback and sees it as an opportunity to strengthen that therapeutic bond and relationship. Sixth, reflect on whether your therapist seems to have adequate knowledge and experience in the areas you're seeking help with. While no therapist is an expert in everything, they should have enough training to address your main concerns. If they seem out of their depth or they're unable to offer meaningful guidance, it may be time to seek a referral to someone with more specialized expertise. This is especially true when it comes to treating eating disorders. Binge eating disorder is the most prevalent and most common type of eating disorder, and it really takes a specialist to treat binge eating in a meaningful and helpful way. And finally, and maybe most importantly, trust your gut about the overall relationship. Do you feel a sense of emotional safety, trust, and rapport with your therapist? The therapeutic relationship is the foundation of successful therapy. So if something feels off, or you don't feel a genuine connection, or you just feel awkward and not connected, that's worth paying attention to. It's important to feel seen, respected, and supported in therapy. Respected means never feeling judged, belittled, or ignored. So be selective about finding the right therapist for you. It is a deeply personal relationship. It's an incredibly intimate relationship in a formal setting, and it has to be a good fit. So if you notice any of these signs with your therapist, bring it up with them. And if things don't improve, know that it's always okay to seek out a new therapist who meets your needs and who is right for you, because you deserve a therapeutic experience that truly works for you. And remember, when it comes to a bad experience in therapy, like the one I had, it's not about therapy, it's about the therapist. Like if we get a bad haircut, we don't say, oh, hairstylists aren't helpful, hairstylists are bad. No, we say, oh, that was a bad haircut. And then we look for someone who can cut our hair well. It's not about the profession, it's about the particular professional. So the same for therapy and therapists. If you find value in this video, please like it and share it with others who might benefit. And for more tips on emotional wellness and overcoming binge eating, be sure to subscribe to my channel.